funny thing with perception is you don't realize you can control it. You know, like the way you see the world, you think that's how the world is. You know, remember in Outliers, how when people become successful, you don't know the backstory of it. You just know, oh, they made it. They must have been special. You know, when Malcolm Gladwell, when he said there was a lot more to it. You know, the opportunity, the luck. I think that really, how you say, at least when it comes to success for me, that really kind of, how you say, destroyed my old perception of success, where luck is a serious factor. So the reason why I'm like talking about perception is it's how you view the world. And when you see the world, your emotions are usually caught up. You know, so your emotions really dictate how you see the world. You know, say if you're watching a UFC fight, you know, you're enjoying it, your adrenaline's rushing or whatnot, right? Same thing when you're watching hockey. You see a hot girl, what do? You choke. One time, I saw this one cute chick, and my friend told me, yo, go talk to her. And she was sitting right under this like huge clock, right? And he just told me, go straight up and talk to her. That's it. And the way I was saying, you know, she's hot, she must be smart, she must be cool, you know, I was pretty much over-exaggerating all of her characteristics. So I go up to her and said, hey, and she looks at me, and when she made eye contact with me, I just absolutely just fell off the face of the earth. Like, I forgot how to speak, forgot how to think, and I asked her for the time. When there's a huge clock right there.
And what did she say though?
she gave me the time.
Good. She was probably like just as surprised as well. She was like, oh yeah, totally. Like she probably didn't like think either. Did she say anything about that? So she gave you the time.
I walked away. I totally, I forgot how to think.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
You know, and I was like looking back at that, you know, I wish I had control of my perception back then, because in reality, the way I should have seen her, or any hot girl in general, is they're just a human being.
Yeah, they're just people.
They take a shit,
Yeah.
They eat, you know, they cry, they get upset. You know, so really it's focused on being objective. To be objective, you know, see things for what they truly are, control that aspect of your perception. You know, for example, when you want to talk to a prof, don't feel intimidated. You know, they went through their undergraduate degree, they went through their PhD, they made tons of mistakes. You know, so really to see them as a human being who teaches. You know, break things down to what they really are. You know, and another thing that I find with perception is how, do you get annoyed when people are overly optimistic?
You know what? I've never, when I do see people who are like talking up like that, I can also like sense their like self-doubt. Like, you know, like they'll be saying like, especially me, like I catch myself doing this, I'm like, oh, everything's gonna be okay, blah, 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 but there's just like some like subtle hints, I can't like say what exactly, but you can just like feel a person, like what they're saying doesn't match up with what they're like showing.
Yes. When people are overly optimistic, like, oh, everything will be fine, I feel like they're still gonna still follow the same path, but they're just positive. That doesn't really make things any better, right? Remember like being proactive and being initiative, like, if you have a problem, don't say, oh, it's going to be better. Say, how can I make this better? How can I solve this problem, right? Taking initiative. That's why I always say being proactive, not positive. Does that make sense?
Are you saying that there's like, that like, you just have to be accountable for like what happens?
Exactly.
So you can't just like be positive, like, oh, like I'm going to hope for the best. It's probably going to be okay. Like realize what's going on and then just like think like what steps you must take.
Exactly, okay. Right? It's controlling your perception, you know, like seeing, like being objective, seeing things for what they truly are. You know, you have a problem, and then okay, what's the solution? Not your perception of, oh, everything's gonna be fine, being, you know, positive. I find that to be you're lying to yourself. You know, and it's just like the opposite extreme of being pessimistic, where nothing's gonna be fine, right?
But so in both cases, like you're not actually doing anything.
Exactly, you know, and this all comes down together. Like I said, your perception is reality.
Rather than just choosing to be positive or pessimistic about the future, choose to do something. Choose to do something about the future.